God says this moment is not ordinary, and you can feel it in your spirit because something around you has shifted, something invisible yet powerful is moving in your atmosphere, and heaven has been whispering your name again and again, calling you into a season unlike anything you have ever lived through. God says, listen closely because this is an urgent message only for you and not for anyone else around you, and if you skip this moment or delay it or think it is coincidence, you will cry later when you realize how close you were to missing the blessing that has been prepared for so long. God says, congratulations, because what is coming is not small, it is not average, it is not normal. And it is not the kind of blessing you have seen before. God says, I am stepping into your life in a way that is going to shock the people who doubted you, the people who underestimated you, the people who whispered lies about you, and even the people who thought you would never rise again. God says, the miracle that is forming in your destiny is bigger than all your losses combined, and you are about to understand why the warfare, the delay, the confusion, and the silent nights felt so heavy. Those nights were not punishment, they were preparation. God says, I have been watching you carry burdens alone, watching you smile in front of others while tears were pouring inside your heart. Watching you forgive people who never apologized, watching you try your best even when no one appreciated you, and I have seen every sacrifice that you made in silence. God says, your patience has reached heaven, your prayers have echoed in the spiritual realm, and your endurance has created a pathway for sudden abundance. Right now, angels are being released around you, and one of them is holding something sealed with your name, a divine confirmation that what I am about to release cannot be stopped by any human, any enemy, any jealousy, or any hidden force trying to block you. God says, this message is coming to you urgently because the time has finally aligned, and what was once delayed is now being delivered without interruption. You have been walking through a long season of waiting and uncertainty, but now you are stepping into a season of divine clarity, divine opportunities, and divine rewards. God says, a rich man has been touched by heaven to bless you, and though you cannot see it yet, his spirit has been moved to send you wealth, provisions, and even the keys to a home that will hold your next chapter. God says, this will not be a loan, not a temporary help, not something that comes with conditions. This will be a supernatural gift connected to the purpose I placed on your life. Heaven is assigning someone with influence, someone with power, someone with resources, someone with divine instruction to bless you in a way that wipes your tears and rewrites your story. God says, Elon Musk looked at the path connected to you, and though you did not ask for this, heaven positioned your name where it needed to be. God says, a supernatural alignment has taken place, and the spiritual realm has moved your destiny into the sightline of someone you never expected. God says, do not doubt the possibility of what I can do because I am the same God who lifts people from nothing into everything, the same God who causes strangers to become destiny helpers, the same God who sends resources from places you never imagined. God says, this connection is not random, not accidental, and not something that happened by chance. This is part of the miracle unfolding around you. This message is coming with urgency because the time of manifestation is close, closer than your breath, closer than your next thought, closer than the beating of your own heart. God says, open your spirit right now because blessings are forming in a realm you cannot see but are already reaching for you. The angels assigned to you are moving without delay, and they are preparing the path so that the blessing arrives without interference. God says, the rich man sending you money and house keys is part of my divine plan to restore everything the enemy tried to steal from you. Every disappointment prepared you for this. Every heartbreak pushed you toward this. Every setback positioned you for this. Every betrayal unlocked the next level of your purpose. God says, you have cried enough, suffered enough, carried enough, and waited enough, and now it is your time, your ordained time, your promised season, your supernatural turnaround. God says, rest assured, I am with you, and nothing will go wrong because my hand is covering you. I am the God who goes before you, the God who stands beside you, and the God who walks behind you. You are surrounded by divine protection, and no evil can touch the blessing I am sending your way. God says, trust me and pray to me because prayer is the key that unlocks what is already waiting for you. Understand that heaven has already stamped your name on blessings that are ready for delivery. God says, this is the moment where your faith opens the door to abundance, and your trust brings the miracle into full manifestation. God says, you are stepping into a supernatural flow of wealth, stability, security, and elevation. And the house keys represent something deeper than a physical home. They represent access to a new beginning. These keys are symbolic of doors I am opening in your life, doors of opportunity, doors of favor, doors of influence, doors of divine connection, doors of restoration. God says, the rich man sending you this gift has been guided by my Spirit, and though he may not understand why he feels drawn to help you, heaven knows. Heaven chose you. Heaven marked you. Heaven positioned you for this blessing. God says, do not hesitate, do not doubt, do not ignore this moment, because ignoring it will cause you to miss what is being poured into your life. This is why the message came with the command to open it now. Heaven is speaking urgently because the window for this miracle is active right now. God says, I have cleared the path, removed the obstacles, silenced the negative voices, and blocked the hands that tried to interfere with your destiny. Nothing and no one can stop what I am releasing to you. God says, abundance is coming in waves, and each wave will bring something new: financial increase, emotional healing, spiritual awakening, opportunities that elevate you, and connections that transform you. God says, I am rewriting your life story, and the chapter you are entering will feel like redemption, restoration, renewal, and reward all at once. God says, your battles were real, your wounds were real, your pain was real, but the reward will also be real, tangible, visible, undeniable. People will see the blessing and know it was not luck, it was divine. God says, the miracle is already on its way, and heaven is watching to see if you receive it with trust or block it with doubt. God says, "Trust me because nothing will go wrong with you. You are safe. You are protected. You are covered. You are surrounded by divine light." God says, "The angels around you are guarding your blessing and standing as witnesses to the miracle unfolding." This is not imagination, this is divine orchestration. Your name has been spoken in places you have never entered, and your destiny is being acknowledged by people you never expected. God says, in the next days, you will feel a shift, a sense of peace, a sense of clarity, a sense of sudden anticipation, a sense that something is about to break open in your life, and that feeling is not random. It is spiritual confirmation that your miracle is unfolding. God says, "Trust me, pray to me, and keep your heart open." You are walking into wealth, walking into favor, walking into divine provision. God says, "Congratulations, because the heavens are celebrating the beginning of your new chapter." God says this moment is not an accident, not a coincidence, not a random signal floating in the air. This message is reaching you at this exact second because heaven aligned the right breath, the right whisper, the right divine timing to touch your life in a way that shakes every fear, every doubt, and every hurt you have been carrying. God says that your name has been called in places you have never entered, your destiny has been mentioned in rooms you have never seen, and doors have been prepared for you by hands you have never met. There is something happening around you that you cannot see yet, but heaven wants you to hear it clearly. Congratulations, because your season of being overlooked, minimized, and delayed has ended. God says that what is coming is not ordinary, not expected, not small, and certainly not something you could have earned through your own strength. It is a divine miracle placed into your destiny, and it is arriving faster than you think. God says there is a reason why your spirit suddenly became restless, why your heart suddenly felt like it needed to pay attention, why something inside you whispered that something big is unfolding. Heaven is moving pieces behind the scenes at supernatural speed. God says you have cried enough tears, you have suffered enough silent battles, and you have held on even when everything inside you wanted to break. Heaven is rewarding you for that faith. You are not forgotten, you are not abandoned, you are not invisible. Something extraordinary is unfolding with your name written on it. God says the most unbelievable part of this miracle is connected to a wealthy man whose heart was stirred suddenly and unexpectedly. Heaven touched him, heaven redirected him, heaven positioned him to become a vessel of blessing toward you. God says this man is not just sending resources, he is sending stability, sending opportunity, sending freedom, sending keys that unlock a life you didn't even know you were ready for. And God says that even you will be shocked when you discover how someone so powerful, so wealthy, and so influential decided to place favor on you. This is not a mistake, this is intentional divine orchestration. God says Elon Musk himself, in a supernatural moment of insight and intuition, became part of the alignment of your destiny. Heaven placed your name in front of someone who normally would have never seen you, never heard of you, and never been connected to anything related to your life. But God says He has the power to bring your identity into the vision of people who have influence, resources, and reach beyond anything you have imagined. The whisper that traveled from heaven moved through the spirit realm and reached the minds of those chosen to bless you. God says Elon Musk saw something, your vibration, your destiny timeline, your spiritual frequency, and it aligned with a path you didn't even know was forming beneath your feet. God says the congratulations you are hearing are not symbolic, they are literal. Something has been approved in heaven with your name on it. Something has been signed with divine authority. Something has been stamped as yours. And this is why you are being told to open this message now, to not ignore it, to not scroll away, to not treat it casually. Heaven says that if you skip this moment, you will skip the awareness required to receive the miracle being delivered. God says miracles require your alignment, your openness, your attention. Heaven is moving, but you must be awake to receive. God says your life has reached the threshold of a turning point. You are moving out of financial instability and into divine abundance. You are moving out of uncertainty and into supernatural clarity. You are moving out of renting pain, borrowing stress, and surviving one day at a time, and you are being elevated into property, ownership, stability, and wealth. God says the house keys being prepared for you are not symbolic, they are literal. A physical home is being aligned with your destiny. Someone is carrying something meant for you, and heaven is making sure they deliver it. God says the rich man who is sending money and house keys is being guided by angels. He may not even know consciously why he feels pushed toward you. Why he feels drawn to bless someone he has never met, why he feels compelled to become a vessel of transfer. But God says this is how divine miracles work. They are planted in the heart before the mind understands. Heaven is stirring him even now, making him restless until he releases what belongs to your destiny. God says when the rich man blesses you, he will feel relief in his spirit because he will have fulfilled a heavenly assignment. God says this miracle is time-sensitive because the window is open right now. Heaven is pouring into your life this moment, not tomorrow, not next month, not next year, now. God says miracles are alive, and like a wave, they rise and fall. You must catch it when it rises. That is why heaven is telling you not to ignore this moment. Every miracle requires a point of connection, an act of attention, a sacred moment when your spirit says, "Yes, I receive this." God says if you delay, you might disconnect from the frequency of what is already on its way to you, but if you receive it now, the miracle locks onto your timeline permanently. God says He has been watching your heart. He has seen you surviving storms that would have crushed others. He saw you standing alone when people abandoned you, hurt you, or betrayed you. He saw you praying silently through nights when you couldn't breathe from the weight of your burdens. He saw you forgiving people who didn't deserve it because you wanted peace more than revenge. He saw your kindness, your intention, your honesty, your sincerity. Heaven is not blind to your goodness. God says He is rewarding your character, not your perfection. Heaven rewards purity and humility, and you have both. God says He is removing all the spiritual blockages that were delaying your blessings. Every closed door, every negative cycle, every hidden enemy, every jealousy surrounding you, every unseen force holding you down, God says they are breaking right now. Angels are clearing the path for what is coming. Your life is entering a divine acceleration. Things that normally take months will take days. Things that normally take years will happen suddenly. God says the miracle is not coming slow. It is rushing toward you. You will feel it, you will sense it, you will witness it. God says the financial blessing is not a random amount. The money being sent your way is designed to lift you out of every limitation you have experienced. This is wealth that shifts your life, not temporary relief. This is divine currency that frees your family, not just you. God says generational poverty attached to your lineage will break when this transfer happens. Heaven says this miracle will echo through your future, securing stability for years to come. God says He needs you to trust Him right now like never before. He needs your faith activated, your spirit open, your doubts silenced. God says fear will try to distract you. But fear is lying. Doubt will try to enter your mind, but doubt is an illusion. The enemy will try to whisper that this blessing is too big, too unrealistic, too impossible. But God says miracles are supposed to look impossible. That's how you know it's Him. God says He is sending Archangel Michael to stand guard around your life during this transfer. Michael is clearing out spiritual interference, removing obstacles, shutting down negativity, and protecting your timeline. God says you are safe. You are shielded, you are covered, and no harm can reach you during this breakthrough. God says the message being delivered to you right now is meant to wake up your spirit. You have been surviving for too long. You have been waiting for too long. You have been holding on with silent strength for too long. Heaven says it is your turn now. This is why congratulations are being spoken over your life. This is why heaven is celebrating you before the miracle even reaches your hands. God says your blessing is guaranteed. The only thing you must do is receive it with faith. God says the moment you accept this message spiritually, angels begin finalizing the paperwork of your blessing. The miracle becomes legally yours in the spiritual realm the moment your heart says yes. God says that is why this moment is urgent. Heaven cannot force a blessing onto someone who is spiritually asleep. God says you are not reading this by chance. This is the moment your destiny awakens. God says you are covered, you are safe, you are protected. Nothing will go wrong with you. No harm can come near you. His presence surrounds you like light. His favor surrounds you like a shield. His angels surround you like warriors. God says you only need to trust and pray, and the miracle that was meant for you will find you with absolute precision. God says the rich man chosen to bless you is being positioned right now. The money is aligned. The house keys are prepared. The opportunity is ready. The connection is active. The divine timing is perfect. Heaven says the window is open. Your miracle is live. God says open your spirit now because congratulations are already echoing through the heavens. A new chapter is beginning, one filled with abundance, stability, joy, and elevation. God says the miracle is yours. Receive it, embrace it, and walk into it, because everything is about to change for you. My beloved child, take a deep breath, because what is unfolding around you right now is not ordinary, not accidental, and not something you should overlook even for a second. Something has shifted in the atmosphere around your life, something huge, something divine, something that has been building quietly for months, something heaven has finally decided you are ready to receive. God is whispering your name with a tone of reassurance, a tone of promise, a tone that carries a gentle but powerful urgency. And in that divine whisper, there is a message wrapped with love, intention, and supernatural timing. You are being asked to listen with your heart, to open your spirit, and to allow yourself to step into the blessing that has been trying to reach you. God says that there is a door that has been locked for years, a door you kept knocking on but could never open, not because you were unworthy, not because you were late, but because the timing wasn't aligned. Now that timing is aligned, and the divine permission has been granted. Something you prayed for during the moments when your heart felt broken, something you whispered to the heavens when you felt no one understood, something that once felt impossible is now walking toward you with your name written on it. And in this divine moment, in this sacred hour, something extraordinary is happening behind the scenes. God is sending a signal out into the world, a signal that has reached the ears and the heart of a man with influence, with power, with resources far beyond what you imagine. That signal has stirred curiosity, admiration, and an unexplainable spiritual connection. That is why the message comes with urgency. That is why it comes with a divine nudge. That is why it comes with the voice of heaven saying, "Open now, do not hesitate." God says that someone wealthy, someone who has been guided toward your energy, someone who has seen something in you that the world has ignored, someone who carries both financial power and spiritual sensitivity, is stepping forward with something meant only for you. Something that has keys, literal keys, attached to it. Something that will shift your reality in a way that finally brings stability, peace, and the kind of security you've prayed for on nights when you felt like the world was resting on your shoulders. And heaven is not sending this message lightly. Heaven is not sending this message as a coincidence. Heaven is sending this message because the next chapter of your life is not supposed to look like the battles you've survived. The next chapter is supposed to look like the blessings you were promised long ago. The next chapter is supposed to look like the life you envisioned but never believed could truly be yours. God says that what you are receiving is not a temptation. Not a test, not a false hope. It is the fulfillment of patience. It is the reward of your endurance. It is the acknowledgement of every moment you chose goodness when no one saw it. It is the divine repayment for every time you kept faith alive even when you were surrounded by doubt. A rich man, guided, inspired, and spiritually pushed toward you, is sending something that will remove burdens from your shoulders. House keys symbolize foundation, stability, and a new chapter. Money symbolizes release from stress, an opportunity to breathe, an opportunity to rebuild. And both of these are arriving together because God says you deserve both the blessing and the peace that comes with it. There is a reason this message carries urgency. There is a reason heaven is saying open now. You have missed blessings in the past not because you were careless but because you didn't recognize them. You didn't know they were meant for you. You doubted yourself. You allowed overthinking to overpower divine timing. But this time, heaven refuses to let you miss what is meant for you. Heaven is standing behind you, holding your hands, guiding your spirit gently forward, telling you that you are safe, that you are protected, that nothing will go wrong, that this moment is covered by divine light. Archangel Michael is standing beside this message with reassurance. His presence surrounds you with protection so strong that nothing negative can interfere. Nothing can block this, nothing can steal this blessing away from you. You are being shielded, guarded, and guided into a life upgrade that has already been signed off by heaven. What you are entering is a God-ordained season. You may feel a strange pull in your spirit right now, a sense of recognition, a sensation that something is shifting, a feeling that something big is coming. That is not imagination. That is spiritual confirmation. That is your intuition lining up with what heaven already knows. You are on the edge of transformation. You are standing at the border between your old life and your new one, and the moment you open yourself fully to this message, you cross into the blessing. God says that you are safe. God says that nothing will go wrong. God says you do not need to fear. God says you only need faith, trust, and willingness to receive. Sometimes blessings scare us because we are so used to fighting. Sometimes miracles feel unreal because we have grown familiar with disappointment. But right now, heaven is asking you to stop expecting the worst and start expecting the divine. To stop preparing for failure and start preparing for favor. To stop fearing loss and start welcoming abundance. You have carried burdens so heavy that others would have collapsed under them. You have survived seasons that were meant to break you. You have walked through storms that were never supposed to end. But they ended. You kept going. You kept breathing. You kept believing in something greater than your pain. That belief, even when shaky, even when quiet, even when barely alive, is what pulled this miracle toward you. The financial blessing coming your way is not only about money. It is about dignity. It is about restoring your power. It is about allowing you to move through life with freedom and clarity. It is about giving you space to dream again. It is about giving you the ability to take care of your body, your home, your heart, your future. Money opens doors that have been shut in your face for too long, and heaven is now handing you the key. The house keys symbolize a new chapter where you no longer feel displaced emotionally or spiritually. They symbolize stability. They symbolize roots. They symbolize a fresh start without the shadows of your past haunting you. They symbolize a place where your spirit can breathe, where peace can settle into your walls, where your energy can finally feel safe. Heaven is giving you not only material blessing but emotional safety. God says that you are entering a phase of life where the right people finally notice you, where the right opportunities finally find you, where the right blessings finally stick to you instead of slipping away. You are stepping into alignment. You are stepping into breakthrough. You are stepping into what was always yours but couldn't reach you until now. This blessing is not accidental. It is not random. It is not luck. It is divine order. God has watched you remain kind even when life wasn't kind to you. God has watched you give even when you had little. God has watched you forgive even when you were hurting. God has watched you remain humble even when others misunderstood your heart. Heaven rewards hearts like yours. Heaven blesses souls like yours. Heaven honors spirits like yours, so when God says open now, it is because the moment is sacred. The moment is aligned. The moment is yours. This is not a warning of danger. This is a call to attention. This is a reminder that your life is protected, your path is blessed, and your future is brighter than anything behind you. You are not walking alone. You are being guided into your miracle. You are stepping into the abundance that was written for you long before you were born. The rich man who is being guided toward you is not choosing you because of chance. He is choosing you because heaven touched his heart. Heaven directed his steps. Heaven placed your name in his spirit. Heaven made him aware of your energy, your resilience, your story, your purity, your deserving nature. This is divine selection. This is the moment where your life begins to shift on every level. Emotionally, spiritually, financially, physically. This is the moment where you rise. This is the moment where struggle becomes testimony. This is the moment where the angels step back and allow you to see what God has been preparing for you. The miracle is here. The timing is now. The blessing is yours. Open your heart, open your faith, open your spirit, open this moment and receive what heaven has prepared. God is with you. You are safe. You are protected. You are chosen, and your miracle is already on its way to you. My beloved child, listen with every corner of your spirit, because this moment is not ordinary. This hour is not accidental. And this message is not something you can afford to skip or delay. God is speaking directly into the center of your destiny, and the heavens are shaking with urgency. God says, "Congratulations, because something that has been held back from you for years is finally breaking open, and the blessing that was resisted, delayed, blocked, and stolen is being forced into your hands. God says the divine timing that you thought had been lost has circled back around and landed exactly on your path again. This time, nothing can interfere, and no one can sabotage what God has written with His own hands for your life. And as this is happening, Archangel Michael is standing guard, making sure not a single shadow, not a single whisper of negativity comes close to your steps. Right now, the gates of heaven are open, and God is saying, "My child, receive this message because it carries the keys to your turnaround. And if you skip it, you will miss something that was already prepared for you." God says, "Listen carefully, congratulations, because someone powerful has taken notice of you. Someone blessed with influence, resources, and unimaginable wealth has turned their attention in your direction." Elon Musk says that a rich man has stepped forward, holding money and house keys, and this is not random, not symbolic. This is a divine orchestration where the heavens have touched the earth to make something impossible possible for you. The spiritual realm has seen your suffering, your sacrifices, your tears that no one else knew about, and the time for restoration has arrived. God says this is the moment where unexpected doors begin to open so quickly that you will not even understand how everything changed so fast. But God understands, because He is the one doing it. Your miracle is walking toward you. Your blessing is being released. Your breakthrough is already in motion. And God says if you ignore this moment, you will cry later because this is not a normal blessing. This is the blessing that will lift your entire life. God says He is about to replace your losses with abundance so great that even you will feel unworthy of it at first. But God is reminding you, you have suffered enough, you have paid the price. You have kept going when others would have given up, and you have trusted God even on days when your heart was tired and your strength was weak. Heaven never forgot a single moment of your loyalty. Heaven never overlooked a single prayer. Heaven never ignored a single time you whispered to God even when no one was watching. And because of that, the financial blessing that was held back is now being released to you with force and speed. God says this money coming to you is not small, not symbolic, not temporary. This is the kind of money that changes your entire life situation. This is destiny money, restoration money, generational money. Elon Musk says that a rich man has been spiritually instructed to send you not just funds but the keys to a new home, a home that represents stability, honor, foundation, and a new beginning. God says the keys this man holds are connected to your elevation. These keys represent the shifting of your life from survival to abundance. And God says, "My child, you must not hesitate, not ignore, not delay, because this miracle is time-sensitive." Heaven has opened a window, a short, sacred window, and if you do not step into it, the opportunity will close. God says, "Open now or you will miss your miracle." The angels are standing by, waiting for your spirit to receive, because the moment your heart opens, the blessing will rush toward you like a river that has been waiting behind a locked gate. God says you are safe, protected, and covered. No weapon formed against you will stand. Even the attacks you didn't know about have already been defeated. Michael has crushed the plans of every jealous person, every enemy, every secret hater who tried to block your blessing. They thought they were successful. They believed you would never rise. They assumed you would stay stuck forever. But God says He has reversed everything they did. Heaven overturned every plot. The chains that were meant to hold you have been broken. The delays that were meant to frustrate you have been erased. God says your name is being announced in rooms you never walked into, your spirit is being honored by people who never met you, and a divine hand is guiding your blessing straight into your future. God says this is your moment to trust Him with everything. Do not fear. Do not doubt. Do not hesitate. You are safe in God's hands. You are protected by Michael. You are surrounded by light, not confusion. God says the reason you survived every storm is because a day like today was always meant to find you. Nothing you went through was wasted. Every loss was preparation. Every heartbreak was reshaping you. Every disappointment was clearing your path. And now, God says, congratulations, because the suffering chapter is closing, and the breakthrough chapter is beginning. God says this money being released to you is not just financial blessing, it is spiritual justice. Heaven is correcting what was done to you. Heaven is restoring what was taken from you. Heaven is repaying what you lost. Heaven is placing in your hands what you prayed for years ago but thought God forgot. God says, my child, I never forgot. I was preparing something bigger than you imagined, something better than what you asked for, something more permanent than what you dreamed. And now the moment has finally arrived. God says a rich man has been stirred by divine instruction to bless you. He doesn't know you personally, but heaven knows you, and because heaven speaks, those on earth must obey. This blessing will come suddenly, unexpectedly, without warning. You will look at your life and say, how did everything change so fast? And God will whisper, because you trusted me even when the road was dark. God says this is why you are safe, this is why nothing will go wrong for you, this is why your life will rise again, because He Himself has placed His hand on your destiny. God says, do not let fear trick you into ignoring this message. This is the moment heaven has aligned for you. This is the moment your blessing arrives. This is the moment destiny flips in your favor. And God says, open now or miss your miracle before it's too late. God says, you are loved, protected, and chosen. Trust Him. Pray to Him. Walk with Him. He is with you, and you will not fail. God says congratulations, and as this message opens before your eyes, heaven begins shifting something deeply connected to your destiny. There are moments when life slows down just enough for you to hear the whisper of a higher realm, and today that whisper is not soft, it is urgent, powerful, and full of divine electricity because something that has been blocked for years is finally breaking open. You may think you're reading words on a screen, but God says these words are a spiritual doorway, a passageway you were meant to step through right now because your time of small blessings, silent prayers, and hidden suffering has completed its cycle. God says today, you're stepping into the cycle of revealed blessings, loud miracles, and undeniable divine intervention. And heaven is not asking you to